Does he know we're coming?
Yes, he knows.
Did you see what happened in the network the other day?
Yeah, I did. Who the fuck is Oculus?
I have no fucking idea, but Lydia's gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah, she is. What do we do about that?
I don't want to be that guy, but I don't want to get in the way of it either.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, come on in. Didn't mean to startle you. Just going to tighten up a couple bolts real quick. Almost done. Natasha, I assume, right?
Nadia.
Sorry.
I assume this is your bike?
Well, you know what they say when you make assumptions, right? You make an ass out of yourself like I just did. But you wouldn't believe how long everyone assumed that I was just another Anarch Bruja.
Are you telling me you're not a Bruja, Mr. President?
Yeah, got a tie and everything.
President Dunn, thank you so much for meeting me on such short notice.
Yeah, sure. What can I do for you?
Well, as you know, I am an assistant of Edward Temple's, and we are currently collecting information for a chronicle of the Anarch movement at the behest of Leland Harper.
Okay. Information. So you're going to ask me some questions.
Of course, yes, sir. I'm so sorry. Yes, I have a series of questions that I would like to ask you just to get your opinion on several different current events, as it were.
All right, then.
How would you explain the concept of libertas to a kindred who is not familiar with the Anarch movement?
Libertas is freedom. It's free will. It's being able to chart your own path, your own destiny. Some of those ones like the Cam tend to stifle the voices of the younger people, like the neonates, and the perspective of every individual is important. No one person is better than the other just because an accident of birth or embrace or whatever. Just because you're an elder doesn't make you better than me. It means you have a different set of experiences. And if you as a person or as an organization are going to thrive, you need to be able to hear all of those perspectives.
You mentioned neonates finding more freedom in the Anarch movement as opposed to the Camarilla, yet quite a few neonates have risen to considerable power here in Las Vegas, such as Edgar Jefferson III of Clan Tremere, who we hear who has made quite the mark on the court of Prince Wenthworth.
So?
Does this undermine your case at all, do you think?
Not really. What we have here is a power vacuum. You just had a whole bunch of kindred just up and leave the city to accompany someone who got a promotion. A bunch of kindred up and left to Nashville. So what we have here is a power vacuum, and anyone who is capable can fill that vacuum. That is more of a lack of choice on behalf of the people running the city than anything else. There's reason to believe he's implicated, along with two other Tremere, in the death of former Harpy Shirk Bellamy and one of the Ravnos. I forget the gentleman's name.
That is serious.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on the whole of Mr. Jefferson?
I mean, how far can you trust a Tremere?
So you believe he's guilty?
At best, negligent.
You mentioned getting a deaf ear from the princes in this city.
Mm-hmm.
How is Prince Wentworth's ear?
I think that's still yet to be seen. I like CW. I do. I think he's been a good friend to the Anarchs for quite a while. I mean, when we came here, all we were a pack of bikers, and now we've got some domain. Then we grew our domain, and now we have all of Henderson.
But you have a good relationship with the current prince.
I like to think so. Yeah.
Though several months ago, you transferred a blood boon over the current prince to a mysterious kindred known as Natrish. What can you tell me about this debt?
First, it's none of your fucking business.
What did you receive in exchange?
That doesn't matter because that's not who I transferred the boon to.
So you have no idea how that boon ended up in the hands of Natrish?
No.
Who is
Natrish? And this is the same thing I told CW when he came asking about this a few months ago. I don't know who Natrish is. Why don't you go ask Natrish? But the matter of the boon is none of your fucking business.
I have here in my notes that a kindred known as Ayla Cord has been instrumental in the protection of the city recently, and particularly the Anarchs. Is this true?
We've stood up for her plenty. I don't know that she's done the same, but I know when asked, during a time of need, she didn't. It's like I have doubts that she's actually anything more of an ally than an ally of convenience to her.
Would you say that Prince Galen Fisk of Nashville is an ally?
No. Galen Fisk is a fucking monster. And a lot of those kindred that left to go for their promotion in Nashville earlier, they were monsters too. You know what? They make great companions. They can all be monsters together far away from me.
So do you have any kind of relationship with Prince Fisk?
I visited him once, and that was enough. That was enough for me, thank you very much.
How long have you been president here?
Oh, geez. That is also a little bit more of a complex question because I was president before I became Baron.
But, and you can correct me if I've been misnaming you this entire time, but you do call yourself president, correct? Not Baron?
Yeah, I do tend to go as president. I'll use Baron because it's easier for outsiders to understand, just make the connection.
Why do you prefer president?
A couple reasons. First, as I said, it's what I went by as before I came here. You know, people, when you come here and your guys already call you president, it's easier just for them to keep calling you president. But also, I didn't exactly take the position by force. I'm not holding it through a force of authority. I'm elected. They chose me to lead through their votes, through their voices. Second, Baron has a very feudalistic overtone to it, implying that the prince is allowing you to rule a territory, and nah.
Leland Harper of San Francisco is said to be an admirer of yours. While Felony, who is currently in Mexico, is said to prefer SaVage as Baron of Las Vegas. What qualities do you think you bring to your current position, and what qualities do you think SaVage would bring?
You mean SaVage? Well, first off, yeah, I appreciate Leland's admiration. But you know what? Both Leland and Felony can get fucking bent. I'm only here because I'm sick of being played as one of their pawns in their little games against each other. I'm here to find out what kind of game Leland's playing and what he's up to this time. That's the only reason I'm here today. I don't want any part of it. I'm tired of being their pawns. I'm not going to let them do it anymore. I think I've already gone over what qualifications I bring to the table. I brought stability. I've brought a growing Anarch population in the area. I've earned us domain, a growing domain. SaVage, he's my boys. I love him.
another notable kindred on my list here as well that you may know something of. This domain was recently visited by the terrorist Smiling Jack.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this kindred?
Well, Smiling Jack is a fucking tornado. He's a motherfucking force of nature. All you can do is, when he comes to your town, is get out of the fucking way and hope that when he's done blowing through town, he hasn't left too much destruction in his wake. He's a fucking revolutionary. He wants to burn the man down, and it doesn't matter who the man is. The man could be the Camarilla. The man could be the IA. The man could be the corporation. The man could literally be the man over there standing by the mailbox. He doesn't care. If he wants to burn the man down, he wants to burn the man down. Get out of his way. Try to get him out of town as quickly as possible, and then clean up behind him. That's your best bet. I've seen some of the strongest people in town at the time try to take him on and not make any headway at all. Get out of his way. Get him out. Clean up.
It sounds like he's quite the powerful person.
Like a tornado. A tornado's powerful. It's destructive. But goddamn if it doesn't demand your respect.
Seneschal Tanaka of Chicago claims that the sons of Amaranth were involved in an assassination attempt against the Camarilla scholar Edward Temple. What is your response to this accusation?
Such an attempt? Are you saying Temple's alive? That's kind of old news. You're not the first to ask about it. I wasn't directly involved, but I'll give you the story as best I remember. We were asked to find Edward Temple, if I remember right, by Leland. My boys found him in Chicago. We were asked to extract him, which they did. What happens next is a little fuzzy, I guess. My people left the scene, came back a while later, and found a bunch of other anarchs ransacking his place and loading up a bunch of his stuff into a U-Haul truck. They were headed by someone named Cullen, something like that. And they were talking about Leland a lot. So, you want to know more, why don't you talk to Cullen and his boys?
What is your greatest regret?
Probably seeing what's been happening to Tinto.
Who is Tinto?
He's one of my best guys. He was one of my closest guys. Just has not been himself lately. I'm hoping he can find his way back to the path. He's seen some shit.
What happened?
It's not my story for me to tell.
What about love?
What about it?
Does that exist as a kindred?
Of course, as a kindred. Of course it exists. As a kindred, I don't know that anyone can ever have complete faith that love as a kindred is ever real.
Have you ever been in love?
Yeah. I have. Like when I was immortal. Not since.
Who were they?
I think that's my story.
Do you believe God will forgive you for the things that you've done?
I have to hope he does. I have to have... I don't have much faith anymore, but I have to have faith that he does. That he will. Or that I can find some kind of redemption. Because once you're embraced, to be a vampire is to sin. There's no living the life of a vampire without doing things you would much rather not be doing. Without doing things that would be antithetical to his teachings. So, all I can do is hope that he's as forgiving as he's preached to be.
Kindred life is usually defined by violence and death. But would you say there are occasional moments of grace?
Not really.